The reason I bring up the self-deliverance is because of that, because mine was in so many layers. It
Layers.
wasn't like I was embarrassed to go to you guys, but you kind of feel like I've already been to them twice. I went to the
Sure.
mass, and you're kind of like, what
Mhm.
else do I need to do?
Mhm.
What would you say to someone like that? Because there's
Sure.
so many people where it doesn't just happen the first time.
Yeah, and that's a very common thing. And so, first and foremost, I would say don't be discouraged that you don't get delivered all at once right away the first time you get hands laid on you, whether it's at the altar or in a class or in a session. Do not be discouraged. Deliverance can be a process. Like I said, I went through 2 years of deliverance, right? And I didn't even know I was being delivered, but it was a 2 year experience. And so don't be discouraged. We see out of the Old Testament where God is talking to his people Israel, and he's talking about their enemies, and he says, "I will not drive them out from you from the land in a single year, but I will drive your enemies out little by little." Sometimes God drives out our enemies from our life little by little to see if we're going to produce fruit, right? And to see how faithful we're going to be to him. Because the Lord, first and foremost, he doesn't want us to get free and then go back to our mess. But not only that, um, he might deliver us little by little, because if he shows us everything that we have to get delivered from, it could discourage us. And so sometimes it comes in layers. That's why I mentioned Philippians chapter 2, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. That's a process that we go through. And so, yeah, don't be discouraged, but be determined that you're going to go through the process of however long it takes to be delivered. If it's, 6 months, 2 months, 3 months, there's all kinds of different ways that you can be delivered, but be determined to go through the process. And like you mentioned, if it's fasting and praying, if it's getting hands laid on you, if it is being on your knees, weeping before the Lord, whatever you got to do to get delivered, then make that happen. Like, have that urgency, that willing desire. Like, I'm willing to do. I think about the lady who was crawling to Jesus just to touch his cloak.